What's next?
I'm
Let's get
Jeremy
to
Robinson,
it.
your host as always of the Effect Podcast, and today we running it back again. You know, it was alive, but it's still gonna be alive. I have my brother here. Go ahead and introduce yourself, man.
Hey, y'all, my name is Leon Langford, professional screenwriter, professional writer, author of the Starline book franchise. I'm so excited to be back here on the It Factor podcast to talk about my book and also like my journey. So yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
No problem, man. Thank you for being here. You know, I'll say, how are you doing mentally, physically, and emotionally?
Oof, I'm trying to be more aware of how I'm doing, like mentally, physically, and emotionally. Like, I know some days I wake up and like super tired, but like I enjoy what I do, and I think that still counts. So
Mhm.
like emotionally, like I'm doing there, I'm getting there, I'm working hard. Um, Physically, I'm working out. I worked out like twice yesterday and twice a day before that, so feeling strong, working strong. Yeah, it's been good. And then was it mentally, physically, emotionally? Yeah. Mentally, staying strong, emotionally staying strong. So it's been good. It's been good. Do I need a little bit more sleep? You bet. But don't we all?
We all need sleep. That
Yeah.
always come, man. I don't know why. I when I could get all the sleep I could, I don't know why I didn't like, man, dang, I could do this. So now I'll be like,
It's like it's a little bit of that passion, like you could sit and rest, but you know you're gonna sleep that night. But like if there's stuff you want to work on or there's stuff you really want to do, and you only have so many hours in which to do it, like oftentimes, you sacrifice that little bit of sleep that you'll probably get later on tonight to just do what you got to do while the sun is up. So I definitely been there, and you don't want to burn yourself out because
right.
I've had burnout before, and it's not fun because excuse me, especially like burnout when you're also like holding down a job, like creative burnout, like that is you're pushing against sand at that point. You're pushing against waves to try to push yourself back up, and um, you don't want to be in that position. You want to be still excited creatively. You want to be excited emotionally, excited mentally, excited physically. So yeah, I totally get that.
Yeah, you totally right too, man. I had a burnout feeling, and I know how to. I ain't gonna say avoid it, but I know how to embrace it. But also, I know how to say, okay, let's take a break, and walk away from, you know.
Yeah, because sometimes you need that, and like. Yeah, it's commendable if you can sit and write something for like 7 to 8 hours, but like get away from it from for 7 to 8 hours afterwards so you can like relax and
Mhm.
decompress a bit. Your mind needs that. So, shout out to the people out there that are the dreamers and the hard workers, but you also got to rest.
Gotta rest. You gotta.
Mhm.
So I'll say, what inspired you to write this second book, Starline Two? The Revival Crusade. What's it?
Yeah. It was a two-pronged thing. So, first, I had a good writer friend of mine. He kept pushing me to continue writing the series. And I was waiting for the first book to be more popular before doing that. But he's like, no, look, once you release the second book, people like buying sets. They like buying it in bulk. And I was like, oh, great. That means I need to write it. That means I need to
Mhm.
write it. So that was like the professional side, but also like emotionally and creatively, I knew I wanted to get back into that world. I knew I wanted to go back and see these characters again. I knew I wanted to give them new obstacles, new challenges, peel back new layers for them. All characters are a little bit of yourself, so you learn the more you write, and the more you write, the more you grow, and vice versa with those characters. So there's a lot of like small inspirations that added up to one giant one there.
I love that. I love it, man. I say, and did
Mhm.
the process change for you? With myself being an author, something that I thought about even
Mhm.
while you were just talking is that I'm thinking about writing the art of networking too, and that's a whole
Mhm.
thing. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, but the way I'm approaching it this time, bro, is
Mhm.
totally different. So
Yeah.
anyway, around this time, it's like, oh yeah, I approach this totally different.
Yeah. Well, I guess it goes to the point I said earlier about the more you write, the more you learn, the more you
Yeah.
grow. And for like book one, I wrote it as a screenplay because that's my main gig is writing scripts and writing TV shows and movies. And I was nervous about writing a book. So I wrote it as a screenplay first, and no one but me and God were going to see that screenplay. It was just going to be the two of us, and we never, no one would ever see it. And then I just took chapters of it or chunks of it, and I adapted it into a book over the pandemic, like week by week. Um, but then with this one, the second one, I was more confident. Like I knew what I was getting into. I knew the pros. I knew the voice. I knew the characters enough to just hop right in. So it saved me a lot of time and energy just to approach it like that.
Mhm.
And then another thing I did was it sounded crazy at the time, but like a friend of mine kept recommending it. I was like, you know what? What do I have to lose? But he said like interview your main character. And I was like, oh, that's weird. Like, am I just like talking to like a wall? And they're like, no, just do a set of like questions that like someone from ABC or CBS would like interview them and
Mhm.
just interview them. And it's just a free write exercise. And it was great. I got little tidbits of just voice and character and um I try not to talk about it too much because I don't want to make it too big of a thing, but um well, the main character is black. I didn't want to focus on that as like the essence of the first book. But like in the second book, when I was doing that little interview part, like there's some things that popped out to me that spoke about race and how it was important to him. And I was like, oh, that's actually coming from me. Like that's not him. That's from me. So like I sprinkled in just a little bit of
That's
just it's
good.
culture, it's character, it's some things you can't avoid. So I made sure to add some of that in there into this version of it.
That's you.
Trevor like the best like just sprinkle a little bit of
A little bit,
little bit
a
of
little
culture.
bit.
A little bit of culture. Yeah, exactly.
I can't wait
It's
to get it, man. I got to go get it. I'm
yeah,
gonna order
go
it
for it.
anyway, but yeah, I got to get it, man. So I could be
Yeah.
the
Or
first one was
one
amazing.
thing that helped,
Hmm.
write the thing you're most excited about first. If there's a chapter that you already have in your mind that
Hmm.
inspired you to write it, like write that first chapter first and
Yeah.
then just build outward from there. Like sometimes reverse engineering it can really help for writing your book.
All right, bet. All right.
Mhm.
Look, I'm gonna be reaching out to you, man.
Yeah, please do. Please do. Yeah.
Honestly, what is your it factor, man? Why do you do what you do?
Yeah, I think my it factor is passion. Like I've always wanted to be a writer. Like I've been doing a bunch of like TikTok lives lately, and someone asked me last night, "Did you always want to be a writer?" And I was like, "Oh yeah." Like even when I was like five, when I was like 5 years old, I was writing and I was telling people I wanted to be a writer. When I was like in fifth grade, they did like this book fair, and like I printed out like my the stories I had written. It was basically like Gundam Wing fan fiction, but it was something I wrote. It was something I was proud of, and I printed it out on my those how big computers used to be, like no laptops back then, those big ass computers. I printed it out. It was like 20 pages. I stapled them together and I sold them. I sold them for like 15 bucks, way more than like anyone's ever made off of fan fiction. And like I remember getting like 30, 45 bucks. And I was like, oh my God, like I'm a writer. This little fifth grader. And I remember like that was like one of those foundational memories for me of something I've always wanted to do and
Yeah.
something I've always wanted to be a part of. And I think that that passion has just always remained. Like it never changed. The the age may have changed, the pros may have changed, but the profession has always just remained the same. So I think that's probably part of my it factor, just passion, wanting to do this and do it well, and also open up the door for other people of color that want to see stories that center themselves.
I love that, man. I love that. And
Mhm.
that's a blessing,
Yeah, it is. It is. It
You
is.
can- Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah, to be able to do that and still enjoy it, you know?
Yeah, yeah, man. I say,
Mhm.
if Starline became a film, man, or
Mm,
series, who would you cast as the lead? But even to flip on that, not even just to make it super hard, but yeah, who would
mm.
you like? And I think you're gonna surprise me, man. I really do.
Oh, really? Oh my God. I spent like a while trying to figure out like who I would cast for this. I
Mhm.
still feel like Alex Hibbert would be great. Like I know he's
Okay.
21 now, and so like someone of that range that was on like The Shy and Moonlight, because the main character in the first one he's like 13, but I'm trying to figure out like other 13-year-old black actors that could fit that mold. Oh my God, it's so difficult. It would have to be him originally. And even when I do like the character designs, it's a young kid named Nathaniel Logan McIntyre. He was on David Makes Man. He might be a little bit old by now. Like he's like
Yeah.
super tall and like it's he would not pass for 13.
Yeah.
But there's so many young actors that are out there that I know that are looking for their big break. They're out there somewhere, And so I hope to find them one day when the time is right, to be able to build upon them. Like even Daniel Radcliffe, who plays Harry Potter. Like he
Yeah.
was not an actor. He was not an actor at first. The director bumped into him and his parents at like a an opera thing, and the director is like, "Wait, hmm?" Change that kid's life, you
Harry,
know?
you
Yeah, exactly. Harry. He's like, no,
like Harry,
Danny.
who is? I'm gonna make you famous, man. Just come on, we gonna make some.
Yeah, you want to be Harry Potter? Yeah. It's like that. I think
But
oftentimes you run into I think what is for you will never pass you by. So
mhm,
I think at some point, once this thing gets big enough and it reaches enough people and it finds the right avenues, that person will be there and be in the right position for it. So it just takes time, energy, and the right set of planets aligning, you know?
you right about that. You right about
Mhm.
that. What makes you genuinely happy?
Yeah, for me, I find it's outside of work. Like while work is rewarding, I like the validation of a good job in a sense of being rewarded for doing something. Like that always makes me happy. And oftentimes, like I mentioned earlier, just like finding time to rest and chill and not doing anything. And I was at Comic-Con recently, San Diego Comic-Con. This is about 2 weeks ago by now. And it was great. I had a great time. And like I was there to do a book panel and a book signing, and that was fantastic. But then once it was over, I could enjoy it. I could enjoy myself and I could enjoy my free time. And I found that that made me happy, despite how like nervous I was about the panel or nervous about the book signing or releasing book two. And I was still filming TikToks, but part of me was like, just put the phone down, enjoy it. And like, it's my first time at Comic-Con in years, like a decade or so. And I just sat and enjoyed it. Like, yeah, I was like shoulder to shoulder with a whole bunch of people, but they were my people. They were nerds. So, so I think, finding that happiness outside of work is always great. Hanging out with friends. I'm gonna go, get dinner with some old friends and celebrate and seeing other people succeed. That's always a really good thing. Um, I have a friend of mine who just got actually sorry, my best friend just got the job offer that he's always wanted. And so like I texted him last night, like I'm so happy for you. And then um Ladarian Williams, who wrote Blood at the Root and Bones at the Crossroad, he's a good friend of mine. I knew him when Blood at the Root was just a script. And so we both sort of grew up in those LA trenches together, like screenwriting trenches. So I'm happy to see that he's doing well. So seeing other people succeed always sort of shows me that there's an avenue for it. Like if you want it hard enough and you work hard for it, you will find that right path. So that makes me happy. And I think that's sort of when you go back to the first question about how are you emotionally and mentally, like getting over the idea of like being jealous of other people or wanting more from other people, but to see other people succeed, it just means that your next thing is coming too.
You're definitely right about that. That's how I feel, man.
Yeah, exactly. That's the best way I found you have to look at it. You have to look at it like if God is able to provide for them in their life and do X, Y, and Z, it just shows that it can happen for your life too. So, and oftentimes, the grass isn't always greener on the other side when you're just looking at people's like IG feed. Because
Yeah,
like no one talks about the terrible stuff in their IG feed. Like, it's just, look at all the cool stuff I'm doing, but like they're like late on their car insurance payment, and it's just
killing
there's so
phone,
much other
man,
stuff
all
that can be
types of
terrible.
stuff.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. So, you want to live in reality and you want to live in the moment. So, trust your own stuff, trust your own work, and trust that it will pay off for you. But also, don't be upset or down if you see other people succeed and do what you want to do. So, I think that's the healthiest mindset to have.
I love it. I love it, man. I'll say outside of writing, uh,
Mhm.
what are you now focused on lately, man? Any new projects or passions?
Um, Outside of writing, oh, that's tough.
Yeah.
Um, well, I've gotten into I've been like in a health kick lately. Been working out a lot. That's been really good. Just finding like a routine because
Mhm.
routines they can be malleable. Like you can change it. Like if I know I can wake up early and do this workout and suffer through it, but enjoy it, that means I can wake up early and I could read a book just for enjoyment. I can read a book just to change that. And so it's less about like working out and more just finding a routine for yourself. I think finding routines have been really good for me.
Yeah.
Mainly because I work from home. So like at any point in time, I can just go to sleep. I can just
Yeah.
like sit down at like 2 p.m. and just take a nap. But I'm like, that's a terrible routine. It's a terrible routine, except on the weekends.
You're
But if
right.
I can build that routine through the week, then I can switch it up. I can change it up. So I think I've definitely gotten into just being more cognizant and aware of the time that I have within a day and making the most of it. That's been great. I've also been trying just to sort of just uh, like I mentioned, do more TikTok lives, just like finding different ways to reach an audience that's not writing, but also like I find it's fun. Like it sort of like happened by mistake. I was supposed to do like a TikTok live, like a co-hosting event with a few other writers that I was supposed to be talking with, but as soon, of course, like I spent like 3 hours like researching it and then another 3 hours like testing it. But as soon as I logged in, they're like, oh, well, you can't do a co-hosting event unless you've been live for more than I think it was like 24 hours or something. I was like, great. I can't do anything. And so I had to cancel it. And so, but then I had to be live for like I forgot the hours. It's definitely not 24 because I think it was like 6 or 7 hours. I forgot. It was a much more manageable number than 24. But I got used to it of just sitting around talking to my phone. And like at first there weren't that many people there, but then I slowly built like a small audience and I found that one, I became better at public speaking and sort of filling in the gaps and the ums and the ahs and the pauses. But also, I found that I was able to reach a new audience that I probably just would not have reached if I'm just posting about the same book. And I want to be able to change that because right now my TikTok is just a giant commercial. It's just a commercial for my book, commercial for my book. And I find that people that hop into a TikTok live, they want advice. They want advice about being a writer, being a creative. I run into a lot of the same questions on there. So, building a routine is definitely important to me. That's something I've gotten really into recently, but also talking to people on TikTok Live has also been pretty nice and just sort of like doing small influencer things like that. So
Yeah.
it's been nice.
That's about to be the thing right there. See, doing that right there is it's gonna bring you new people, but it's also gonna help to, hey, when they ask you a question, like, look, can I help you
Hmm.
do the film? And it's gonna be
Yeah.
that type of stuff. Can I help you do this? Or I read the
Yeah.
book, and it's gonna be such a because I see it with the podcast every time certain things happen. I get certain questions, and when they
Hmm.
answer, certain people just reach out, and I'll be so surprised. I'll be like, wait a minute, okay.
They actually reached out. They mean it. They mean it.
So with that,
Yeah,
man, I
I
say,
totally get that.
yeah, man. I say that leads right into the next question, man. What
Mm.
advice would you give to, you know,
Oh
up and
yeah.
coming authors?
Oh, really be passionate about the story. Like I know that sounds like generic or whatnot, but oftentimes you're going to hear no more than yes, and it's up to you to be able to tell that story. I think one thing I think one thing they should probably understand that I didn't understand up front would probably be like it's still a business. It's the
Yeah.
business of art. And you have to be good in two avenues. You have to be good in art and in the business. So, well, yes, you can write, and that's great, and that is a fantastic skill. You have to sort of be open to the fact that there's going to be some rejection. There's
Mhm.
going to be some people that say no. There's going to be people that turn it away. And that's just part of the business. Like, don't take it personally. Don't take it as a sign that you're not ready. But learn from it and grow from it. And you have to be passionate about your story because you're the only one that's going to be sending the letters out, the query letters, reaching out to the agent, and don't let that passion be dissuaded by the business side of things.
Mm.
Because I've seen so many writers that don't even get past chapter one or page one and they quit. But if you are passionate enough about your story that you got from page one to 100 to the end, then that's great. Follow that and keep pushing and learn more about the business side of it, even if it's self-publishing like I did.
Yeah.
Like I find
Same.
there's perks to it, but there's also cons to it. And even good friends of mine that have worked in the traditional publishing industry have found their own pros and cons. And so no side of it's going to be perfect, but if you're passionate about your story and you enjoy your story, it all feels worth it.
Right. You're definitely right. I say, what music, anime, movies, or life experiences help influence Starline?
Oh man. You definitely find on my TikTok lives, I always talk about how it's Percy Jackson meets My Hero Academia. And so like
Yeah.
I'm a Percy Jackson fan, I'm a Harry Potter fan, but also I'm an anime fan.
Mhm.
And also like I don't read as much as I used to. And I think I'm trying to change that with my routines because like oftentimes when I'm giving like writing advice, I use like anime or manga as like my foundation. So like there's a ton of like anime tropes in here. There's energy blast, power levels. Um, a government organization with no problem hiring teenagers to deal with military conflicts. A character with animal ears. Like there's so many like anime tropes within it. And I think that influence is just so pertinent throughout the entire story. Actually, it's funny because I haven't mentioned the story actually. So Starline 2 follows Jordan Harris as he goes back to his superhero school. But this time his schoolwork is put to the side because a kid has escaped from a superhero prison, and he has to protect this kid, not just from the government that wants to imprison this kid because his powers are so OP, but from a group of villains that want to use this kid's powers for their own evil means because his powers are just so OP. So it's about him keeping this kid safe inside of it and hiding him within his dorm, as well as dealing with the rest of like the school stuff that's going on. Um, and it's about freedom in a lot of ways. I think that's like the big theme of the book is about freedom, literally literal freedom because this kid was a prisoner, but freedom from depression, freedom from PTSD, freedom from anxiety, freedom from what the world says you are. If the world says you're a prisoner or a criminal or that you're dangerous, how do you escape from that? And so there's a lot of cool themes within it. Um, and like also like low key, like I guess it should be okay to talk about. But I had a like a similar issue like back like in high school or college where like a friend of mine, yeah, I guess it should be okay to talk about. Like a friend of mine basically ran away from home from like a weird situation that they had. And like it was sort of up to the friend group to like protect them and like keep them safe. And like we were just kids, but we understood that like we want to protect this person no matter what. And
Right.
even if like the authorities were getting involved. It was also like I guess the statute of limitations on like had passed on that, but like we were trying to protect a good friend of ours
Yeah.
despite whatever may come. And um it was so weird. I didn't even think about that until like I was done with the book. And I was like, oh wait, this is just that thing that happened in high school. Oh,
Yeah.
superpowers. Oh, that's so weird. And like you talk about inspiration or where stuff comes from, and like it happens from reality. It happens from stuff you draw from. And um even if you look at was it Lord of the Rings, J.R. Tolkien, like he basically went through like was it World War One or World War Two? It's one of the world wars. Like he basically survived it and like he took all that trauma and all that stuff he went through and that's what Lord of the Rings is for him. It's his way of dealing with it and talking about it. So yeah, the inspiration comes from everywhere. The stuff you watch, the stuff you live through. So yeah, yeah. There's a whole bunch of stuff that personal, legal, and illegal that comes through.
Same. Look,
Back
look,
to that part
same.
of it, we'll
I
see.
agree with you. Same, man. Same.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, can fans expect Starline 3, man, in the future?
Yeah, honestly, if I can start writing it this month, I will start writing it this month. But I know I'm gonna start writing it this year. That's how excited I am for it. That's how confident I am in it. Like the outline's basically done. I know the title, I know the big setting, I know the big set pieces, I know the superpowers. But it's just figuring out the supporting cast because it's just
Yeah.
there's so many of them this time. So it's figuring out like one, what can I give them that's real and has like agency. Like, like you watch like Avengers like Endgame and like there's so many characters and like that's why like they end up just jumping everybody because it's like three Avengers versus like one person like in Thanos's group because
Right?
like they have nothing for them to do. And so like you have to like have villains that have enough weight where like three or four people could actually fight them. I'm like, oh God, so I have to come with a really cool superpower and like how am I gonna do that? And like how does that work, especially with kids? And so just figuring out because I have such a big supporting cast already. How do I wrap my mind around giving them something real to do? So yeah, and that's just everyone just jumping one villain, like Jujutsu Kaisen or something. What is it? Fight back, fight back.
You're right. You're right, man.
Yeah.
How do you stay grounded as an author and creator?
I think I talked about a little this on one of my TikToks was like I think people think that like that's funny because I just sit inside all day. But like people think that writers just sit inside all day and the story just comes to them. Or like I'm gonna sit on my porch and just drink tea and be like, New York Times best-selling idea. Great. Like it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. No, you have to get out. You have to
Gotta
like
experience.
live,
Gotta
Yeah.
experience.
That's what keeps me grounded is like talking to my friends, seeing my other friends succeed. But I think like as writers, we have like a well of stuff and a well of material. And like mine is just like pro wrestling, anime, and like traumatic life experiences. And like I turned that into my story, but like everyone's life experience forms that well of information, a well of ideas. And I find that that keeps me grounded. And also just like, excuse me, like I like to get into like the nitty gritty of stuff of just like, how does a person get there? And it's never easy. It's a lot of excuse me, it's a lot of hard work. And like talking to my other writer friends and just hearing about their struggles and their honesty and the way they perceive their side of the business, like especially the film industry. The film industry is so tough right now. Like
Yeah.
I have like writer friends that I look up to that are years older than me and more successful, and they're just like, "Hey, like, do you know of any jobs?" I'm like, "What?
Right.
You're looking for a job?" And I'm just like, "That's," and it's grounding to sort of see that like while other people may make it look easy, none of this stuff comes easy. And I think that sort of grounds me in a reality of just like it takes time, it takes energy, but it also takes passion and perseverance to push through.
Yeah, I love it, man. I
Yeah.
love it. I say before I get you out of here, man,
Yeah.
something I thought about, with all
Mm.
that, hey, having to pivot, we pivot from live to this.
Yeah, yeah,
Sometimes,
yeah.
man, what's some advice that you would give to yourself, man? From dang, I wrote my first book,
Oh, yeah.
versus now, what's some advice you would give?
I think I would do like two pieces of advice. I released the first book in 2021 and then now it's 2025. But I think I would tell myself to take my time with the book. Like there's no rush. Yeah, it took 4 years, but I think at some point I was like really pushing myself to do it, even though I wasn't even picking up a pen. And I was like hard on myself for doing it, but take your time with it. Like really sit with it. I was ready to release the book in 2023, and then I realized like this isn't it. Like this wasn't like I had like the what was it? I had like the promos set and I was ready to it. I dropped like one promo on Facebook and one on like IG. I might delete them now that I realize it, but like I was ready to like release the book. And
Yeah.
I thought I was set and I thought it was the story I wanted. And then I sat with it for a bit and then I was like, no, like it can be better. It can be
Mhm.
stronger and like take your time with it. And I realized I was pushing myself even while I was writing it just to get it done. And you don't want to do something just to get it done. You want to do it to get it done right. And I'm so happy I did because, like I mentioned, all the characters from the first book have rival characters,
Mhm.
and Jordan's rival, like there just wasn't much to him in the first version of it. Like his power was okay. It was sort of like a lackluster power we had seen before, and like his personality was just sort of like I don't know. He was like a gnat. He was just like annoying and just like he was just like there was nothing there for him, and I was like, I can do better than this. And like, I if you know that you don't like it, then what chance do the fans have? You know? So I rewrote it. I remember sitting in bed that night, and I was like, oh, yeah, I gotta do this. I gotta do it. So like, I totally rewrote Jordan's rival character. Like, there's so much like, what's the phrase? Limited space on the front cover, and so I try to always give those to my favorite characters. So like in the original version, like his rival character wasn't even on the cover, which I think is probably a sign that I didn't care about him. But now he's like front and center on the cover, and I got a whole bunch of artwork done with him. And he's like this well, the first one was just like this gnat that was like twisting his mustache and being evil. The other one, he's basically like Puerto Rican Yusuke Urameshi. Like he is like a trash talker. He likes to talk mess. He's always in your face, but he's confident in a way that Jordan isn't. And he's so fun to write. He's basically like have you ever watched like those hood anime videos?
Mhm.
Yeah, where it's just like an overdub of just like people from Southeast DC, like but as Goku. And that's like I just devoured like 3 hours of those, and I was like, that's him.
We-
That's the character.
And you're
And he's
so
like this
smart for
poor,
doing it. You're so smart for
yeah.
doing that. You know.
Right, yeah, he's this Puerto Rican kid that's from the hood, and he goes to a superhero school, but he doesn't even want to be a superhero. He just wants to be a bounty hunter. And
Mhm.
he's like, if I can get paid more money to just speed up the same people, what sense does it make to work for the government? I'm just like, yeah, I get it, you know. So yeah, take your time with it. That's always been my thing. And then the other side of it is, you know, be honest with the work that you're doing and just make sure you're happy with it before you release it. I think that's definitely a lot of the big advice I would give to my younger self because I think that's been so, so important to peel back the layers of the character. Like I mentioned earlier, like interviewing the characters, that was great.
That's dope.
I'm going to do that for the third book because I only did it for the main character in the second book. So I'm excited to sound like a crazy person at my local Starbucks as I interview them. I was gonna tell people I'm on Bluetooth. That's gonna.
You know what, man? If you need
Yeah.
help, you know what? Look, hey,
Mm,
let's do this. If you
yeah.
need help, I can interview you, man.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So let
Oh
me know when you're
man.
doing it, and we can collaborate,
Yeah.
and I can interview you because I'm with you. It
Yeah. Just
is
doing
like,
the voice
man,
of my character.
yeah,
Yeah. Okay. Let's
that'd be
see,
dope.
this is the synergy. Synergy.
So let me help you.
Yes.
Okay, cool. I say,
Much appreciated.
no problem, man. I say, do you have any
Yeah.
questions for me?
Um, yeah, like what's going on in your life or just how have things been going? Like, it's been like what a year. It hasn't even been a year. It's what, 2 years by now?
2 years now. Yeah, two
Yeah,
years.
like I moved houses. Like I'm in a more suburban area, but
Yeah.
LA now. It's not very suburban. There's still like homeless folks, which is still an
Mhm.
issue, but like it's
Oh,
just
yeah,
suburban
I
and
hate
safe.
that.
But
I
yeah,
wish it could be fixed, man. Hate
yeah.
homeless. Hate it.
Oh, no, you can see it in your eyes.
Yeah, man, it's a bad thing, bro, because it could be fixed so easily. But hey,
Yeah.
in time, in time.
No, I
But
understand. I
no, I've
understand.
been working, man. Doing good. I told you earlier, me and my wife, got a blessing coming to the
Hey,
world, so we happy about that.
blessings on blessings on blessings. Is there like
Definitely.
a due date?
November. Yep.
Oh, November. That's around the corner.
Hey, man, right
That's,
down the
that's
street.
I thought this was like new news. I thought you found out like 3 weeks ago. This is around the corner. What?
Yeah, man, it's
Oh,
been flying by, and
nice.
just
Congrats.
been preparing for that, man.
Yeah.
Doing the podcast, of course, been successful, man.
Mhm.
Love what I do, of course, like you said yourself, man. It's
Yeah.
great, man. So I take care of it.
Mhm.
So much so, been doing so much good work that I'm like, man, I'm gonna write another
Yeah.
book soon on this, and people have
Yeah.
been asking for it, and I said, okay, okay, enough people ask, okay, I got to
That's the
go
real
because
thing.
being
If
an
you got people
author,
asking for it, like that's
you
you
have a
definitely
good
got
point.
them booked,
You
you
got
know?
so, yeah.
Yeah, especially because I feel like today's I don't know, I feel like today on social media people are very like standoffish. Like, is it out? Is it out? But if people take the time to ask and reach out and demand
Yeah.
that you're
It makes you be
right.
like, you know what? I'm gonna do this, and it's gonna be done right. So
Exactly.
yeah, man.
That's the universe telling you something, you know?
So that, man, and just been good, man. Of
That's
course,
great.
things happen in life, but other than that, I've been actually good, man. Been blessed, man.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, if you can go to sleep and sleep easy, then that's a good enough sign that something is going right in your life, you know?
Indeed.
Yeah, listen, sleep while you can. Sleep while you
Right.
can.
You ain't, man. Everybody say that. That's the truth.
I
I'm
know
going
you can be
all
sleeping
in.
different, praying different, eating different, and I guess like that. Oh man, but yeah, congrats. That's
Thank
huge.
you, man. But yeah, bro, that's all I
Yeah.
have, man. Been doing. Thank you so much for wanting to come back, man.
Yeah, no problem. I always enjoy doing these. These are always good, and just this is like other black creatives and just like just talk, just have
Yeah.
ideas out there. Because like I don't know, I think like writers can be very introverted, and like
Mhm.
it's it helps to like get out, talk to folks, and just not just like for marketing, but also just like mentally, emotionally, physically, just like
Yeah.
talking.
Yeah, man. And I say this
Yeah,
from the first one to now, man. You have grown a lot, man.
yeah.
First book was
Thank you.
amazing. I can't wait to read the second. Matter of fact,
Hey,
I'm
appreciate
redoing
it.
stuff. Like if I showed you this area over here, I'm redoing my
Yeah.
old book shelf and your book, of course, right here. I was
Hey,
like,
sounds
looking, I'm like,
good.
why? I gotta buy the second one. Because I was like, no, I am. I'm like, man, I gotta buy it because of course I gotta support you. But I'm like, I
Appreciate
can't
it.
wait to read it,
Thank you.
And I've been reading
Yeah.
other books just to get that to like it's time to read it.
You got like a physical TBR list of to read. I
But yeah,
totally get that. Totally get that.
but yeah,
Well,
man.
much appreciated.
Yeah, man. No problem, bro.
Yeah,
But when you need that help, let me know, man. Reach
I
out.
will.
I'm
100%. Yeah.
let
Always
you
down
do
to do
everything.
chat with others and also just like grow the world a little bit. Just toss ideas out, just see what clicks. So thank you. Thank you so much.
No problem, brother. No
All right.
problem. I'll
This
talk
has
to
been
you soon,
great.
man.
Yeah, same time next week. We'll
Hey,
see
look,
you
same time next
soon.
week. All right, man. You have a good
Yeah.
weekend, man.
All right. Thank you. You too.
No problem.
Peace.